banned from going live on TikTok.
Introducing National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk programming that you can access 24/7. For the premier sports talk experience, tap into our Roku channel. Start your mornings with Mac and Jack covering all the weekend sports action. Then pour a cup and enjoy all the sports you can drink on the Coffee and Sports podcast. At midday, talk sports from east to west on the Coast to Coast podcast. Followed at night by some hot girl talk with Prim and Proper Sports featuring Sonia Pearson. Talk boxing on the Gloved Fist. Yankee fans tune in for Start Spreading the News. And there's more on the College Sports Huddle and Sports Scope with Robert Butler. There are 20 podcasts in all and 70 weekly shows giving us a 3.4-star viewer rating. To find us on Roku TV, search for National Streaming Sports on the Roku search bar. Click on the logo and you're in. National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk for America.
National Streaming Sports is brought to you in part by BetUs.com, designed for true fans. NFL odds, Week 1 and futures, college football odds, including Heisman Trophy favorites and playoff odds, NBA odds of division winners and playoffs, Major League Baseball playoff and World Series odds, the National Hockey League Conference playoffs and Stanley Cup odds, and boxing wagers. Betting opportunities include versus the spreads and outright winners, also during the game. Use our link on our website, nessp.info, the Bet Us Opportunities webpage, for a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. Must be 21 years old, and remember, bet responsibly.
Shows.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to National Professional Sports Show on National Streaming Sports. I am sitting in for the host, Mac, the great producer over there, he and Linda at Northeast National Streaming Sports. And we want to make sure you guys download the Roku app so that you too can be in the know when we are live. By the way, someone's show over there right now is over, and so I am not able to connect. This is the second week this has happened, so I'm a little, perturbed. But good evening, gentlemen, while I try to navigate that. To my bottom here is Jay Train. He's right underneath me. Jay Train, how are you tonight? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, I don't know what's going on.
It's going well.
All right, to my right is Tip. Below him is Bo Crouch, and again below me is James Martin, J Train. I guess he can't hear me. I don't know. J Train, can you hear us? He can't hear us. Okay,
and he's gone.
Oh yeah. So
I love to look at his
face. Let's see. Can you hear us now, J Train? All right, he'll join us at some point, guys. But anyway, shout out to everybody that's watching us on all the social media platforms. I know everybody is sharing their stuff. Hang on, now I got feedback. So.
Off to a rough start. It
is. Hang on. Let me just. Oh. All right, you guys. Can you hear us? All right, you guys. Can you hear us now, Jay Train?
Oh yeah, I can hear you well, but
it's an echo. Whew, this is rough. Let me make sure it's not.
I like that Rob is doing effect.
All right, well, you're going to have to explain that one to us. It's almost as funny as Bo and Comcast.
Right. Although I haven't had that problem anymore.
What's up, buddy?
It only took Comcast coming out here like 20 times.
What was the problem? What were you having?
Oh, it was Comcast. just generically, right?
Like,
All right. Can you guys hear me now?
yes.
All right. There's no more
Yeah.
echo. Perfect. All right. Good evening, everybody. So we are not connected to. Okay. Oh wow. This is crazy. Let's just go ahead
Hey,
and
you
get
know
started.
what? Let's just roll with it.
Yes,
and
let's roll with it. Everybody get in where they get in. We are not able to stream on any SSP for some reason. Clearly, there's someone's show who has gone over. Last week, it was 11 minutes before I was able to connect. So I'll just get with Linda and Mac about that because it's not allowing me to connect it at all.
Well, there has been some connectivity issues in general, though,
Mhm.
because I've had it a couple of times where it won't actually get to won't log on, and there wasn't a show before ours, so there's just times that National Streaming Sports on Roku, the connection for Roku just isn't quite right with StreamYard. I don't know what it is, but for all the people that are watching on all the other programs, let's give them a good show.
Yes, so let me welcome my YouTube audience, Prim and Proper Sports. Tip has his show, The Tipping Point, with Mike Tipton. Football Talk with Bo is beneath him. Of course, on TikToks and all the socials, and J Train's on with us with Friday with the Fellas. He's on with the Saturday morning historical moment in sports memories. He's on with the Sunday morning it was a big football show, but now it's a big sports show. And of course, now he's on with us with the National Professional Sports. So I hope everybody's doing well. It is 6:06 and time to what? Get with it. All right, guys. So big news, of course, it's kind of big news, not really big news, but it's big news for us. NFL news, they're going to table the tush push till May. Yep. Pretty much just tabling that. There's also Roger Goodell is assessing the 18-game series. I don't know when he's going to start that, but he wants 2 weeks of preseasons, but he's assessing that against players' health. They are changing the overtime rules in to match the clock regulations for the regular quarters of a game, and they are moving the offside kick to the 35-yard line, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you get a touchback, it'll come out to the 35 instead of the 30.
Oh my gosh! And one more big thing: no more measuring the first yard down, moving the chains. That's over with. They will be implementing technology to see if a team actually got the first down. So nobody will be bringing out index cards like we saw. I can't remember who that used to bring the index card out, but it won't be a moving those chains type thing. And speaking of moving those chains, I think this is the guy we want right here to start us off with March Madness.
What?
My Duke boy stealing it. Keith Eagle.
How we doing, guys?
What's happening?
What's happening? How are you? And
I'm
welcome.
doing well. Thank you.
All right, so we were starting to talk a little about the rules of the NFL, so we'll come back to the March Madness since you were a little tardy for the party, but don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
Ooh.
You didn't miss anything. All we were having was technical difficulties, so we want to welcome TGI Sports host and creator Keith Engle. We were just talking about all the NFL changes, the rules that I'm meaning, tabling the tush push. The moving of the first down now is automated, basically no more chains and all that good stuff. So everybody, I'm just hosting. You guys chime in at random with your thoughts.
Okay, so I guess I'll kick that off. The one that was a slam dunk, like you knew it was going to pass, was the overtime rule getting expanded to 15 minutes. Everybody gets to touch the ball. You knew it was going to go that way. That is the Kansas City rule in my mind, because they had that overtime where they used 9 of the 10 minutes on their drive. Yep. And so that was, you knew this rule was going to get expanded as soon as both teams get an opportunity to, try and score. So, yeah, that one seemed like the easiest one to pass. The tush push, I'm glad it didn't get taken out. Just play better defense. It's simple as that.
Wait.
All right, what you got?
We're gonna say, let's make it fair so everyone gets to touch the ball, and then in the next sentence say, just play better defense. Where my pushback to you would say,
no.
How about we play better defense in overtime, and now you don't have to worry about it.
So
I agree with that.
I am actually a fan of sudden death in overtime.
Yeah.
So, but they moved so far away from that. It's just like, okay, well, just make it an actual quarter then. Make it so that one team can't barbecue the entire clock. So that's the only reason I agree with it. I actually preferred the old style of sudden death. So I'm with you there because then there was strategy in it. You're just like, okay, I'll give you the ball. I think my defense can stop you, or we want the ball. We think we can score. Either way. Yeah, I was a fan of that. I get where it got a little bit away from the field goal ending it because these kickers can make it from the 50 now. So like in a way, I kind of get that, but now that it's evolved into something where everybody gets an opportunity to try and score a touchdown, let's make it a full length quarter. So that's the part of it that I agree with, but I'm with you. I'm not a huge fan of that change. Like again, play better.
So
yeah,
play better.
I think it's just too long. It's excessive. I mean, first of all, this is a violent sport. It's football. 4 quarters is a long time to play a football game, but to add a full additional quarter, I mean, what if they actually go through with that? I mean, you're opening the door for more injuries, more everything. Just, I mean, I like you said, play better defense and try to win your game within the time that's allotted you during that the initial time. I think a full quarter is just excessive.
I push back with this is like we can tell maybe now the NFL just doesn't care, right? Like if we're going to push it to 18 games, we're going to give you a full game. We might as well just give you a full quarter. Your health does not matter to me. As fans, your health does not matter to us unless our team is in the playoffs and you get hurt in the playoffs, because then we just focus on you coming back next year. Maybe if you were good enough for us to care that much about you. Like
I think it's cute that you think they ever cared. The only reason they did anything about concussions because they got sued.
Yeah, it was $1 billion they had to pay for concussions. Yeah. Other than that, it was like, oh man, you guys let's bring back the leather helmets and we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
The NFL is the car industry, right? They don't do recalls unless enough people sue them. Otherwise, they're just like, this is acceptable damages. So the NFL is the same way. They're not that worried about it until it starts hitting the bottom line. And then they're like, oh yeah, player safety, that we're all about it. It's like, yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, and good evening to Robert, to Feather Freebird. I know that's Bo's mom. And also you can support Keith by sending stars, TGI Sports Talk. And so good evening to everyone actually joining, even those who are not speaking. We see you and we appreciate you. Let's just be clear, and this is just my legal mind. Even though, movies like Concussion express to the fan what the players knew all along. This is something they've known all along. Aaron Hernandez, he was not the first person that had CTE, supposedly, or the player that, unalived himself in a truck. These are not the first players that had it. This is just now public awareness. And legally speaking, it's kind of like, and I don't mean to be crass here, it's with any job that you're performing. You are assuming the risk. If you are a skyscraper cleaner where you clean windows, they tell you are assuming the risk that you may fall. Now, yes, you probably will get damages if you fall and die.
$7.25 an hour, too, by the way.
How 120 what?
For like $7.25 an hour with the window up.
That's crazy, right? So unfortunately, these football players are being paid millions of dollars. If they do not take that money and invest it in some type of healthcare post playing, then that's going to be another. And Bo, I can actually kind of pivot this to you because you played professional ball, and you and I have had conversations on air where you've talked about your knees or what have you. Sure. Some of these players have even not minimizing your injuries, Bo, but I'm saying they have even worse than that, and they don't have the health care or the mind or the bandwidth or finances that they've put aside to take care of these things long after they've played their final down.
Yeah, well, the thing that's funny is where their study comes in is it says just about anybody that's played football beyond the high school level has a real shot at having CTE. So I mean, a lot of those guys may be dealing with these symptoms and all of that don't have the NFL's, healthcare system, stuff like that. Because, if you're talking about guys that were playing in college or semi-pro or the arena level like I did. Like, you didn't get paid a lot. So none of that stuff's covered. So that's on you moving forward in your career. If you were lucky enough to get into the NFL and then be in the NFL long enough to be vested in their healthcare, that's the only way any of it makes sense. So, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of these players are really kind of moving forward on their own anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, independent. So a lot of rule changes. I do want to, you guys, I got my Braves shirt on. We got a lot of sports to really talk about tonight. Dodgers 7-0, y'all. Dodgers 7-0. Blowing things up. I mean, they were predicted to be good. This is where I really miss Freddie Freeman the most. They are on fire. Meanwhile, the Braves are 0-4 right now, 0-5. They have not won 6. Thanks for the extra game. They have not. I lost count. Guys.
I'm a fan too, sis. I'm a fan.
Yes. I mean, you got to be brave to be a Braves fan right about now. But it's early in the season.
Braves will be
a lot of baseball, right?
Braves will be fine. I wouldn't worry about the Braves. It's 4 games. Everybody has a 4-game losing streak. It looks worse at the beginning of the season. That's all. I wouldn't worry about the Braves. They've got enough pitching. They do things the right way. They've got guys to step up and fill holes. They're going to have, and don't forget, they're going to have maybe the guy who'll win the Cy Young Award this year come back in May in Spencer Strider. So I wouldn't worry about the Braves. The Dodgers. They're loaded. They also got to play 2 extra home games in my mind in Japan when they went there.
Yes.
That would have been in Chicago.
while they were over there eating sushi and rice and get stocked up, enjoying themselves.
When you got 3 of the biggest names in Japanese baseball playing on your team, it's a de facto home game. So I wouldn't worry about that.
See, and my Mariners are batting a whole 197. We are absolutely killing it.
I mean, Houston started off like this last year. The Astros started off 0-6 last year, and they did pretty good.
Yeah. The Astros, that's the thing. The Astros last year played really bad baseball for about 3 months, and the Mariners and the Rangers couldn't put any distance between them, themselves and the Astros, and the Astros started playing good ball and ended up winning the division. So everybody overreacts on both ends early in the season.
Right? I mean, I get it. The Braves are missing a couple stars. Ronald Acuna hasn't come back yet.
Yeah.
And also, the guy got suspended for 18 games.
They lost Jerks and Profar for 80 games.
80 games.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, 80. Forgive me. Yes, 80 games. That's a lot.
That'll hurt a bit. But, the Braves have this way of finding guys. The last few years, they go out and they find a Solar. They find a Duvall. They find all these guys at midseason that actually Jock Peterson, they could fit him in their lineup. And
I miss Jock.
Yeah. So they got a really good front office, and I think they've got a really good culture in their clubhouse where they withstand these types of little droughts. Plus, I don't trust anybody else in that division anyway. So
I mean, the Phillies look good though.
Early.
Yeah.
They do. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's a
decent team.
There's a real quick fix for the Braves, and all it is get everybody on the team with a torpedo bat. You get the torpedo bat, you start popping them out. Like nothing. As a Yankees fan, I am happy with the torpedo bats. Ellie De La Cruz is exciting with the torpedo bat. We need all the torpedo bats.
20-9 over the Brewers is insane. 20-9 is insane.
The Brewers also, it's not just a torpedo bat, by the way. This is also mind over matter, and also
Aaron
the Brewers.
Judge is not using a torpedo.
And the Brewers pitching stinks. There was no torpedo bats Monday, and they gave up 11 runs Monday too. So,
have you seen the new mitts for the Yankees?
I
heard
about
the torpedo bats. Now they have new mitts. Throw that up, Sonia. This is going to help them track.
I'm going to bring this right on up. You got that for me, Bo?
Yeah, it should be there. This will help them track down some of those fly balls.
Wow. Let me take the banner off. Let me take the banner off so everybody can get a look at this nice graphic here.
Aaron Judge is such a large human being that's actually the normal size glove for him.
Good point.
Yes.
I almost said something about the uniform debacle that went on a couple of seasons ago, but I will digress.
I thought I
Everybody
was in
just-
those uniforms.
They were saying something about their uniforms were see-through. I had zero complaints.
They were, yeah. They did
looked
have some
very
issues.
uncomfortable. I can tell you that. I mean, the
Shankly
players
is
were all
like, were they
complaining about it.
Shankly clad or playing mad? Which
Oh.
one? You know.
All I know is I got a lot of extra tips whenever I wore my uniform.
Okay, okay. I almost said something. All right. Anywho,
Oh my goodness.
all right, guys. So yeah, baseball news. Let's switch on over to March Madness. My Duke boys are still in there. Matter of fact, I've shared my brackets with everybody so you can see that I am that you know what. I have almost a flawless. Right now, I'm at 88%, I think. Yeah. So I don't know what yours is now, Tip, but yeah, I'm that chick. Okay?
That bracket that you filled out after the first round.
No,
Yeah.
sir. No, sir. I transform my information over from paper, and B. Strilla is my witness. Okay, and you will not question me on live air about filling out something after the round started. So yeah, Keith, you are our college extraordinaire. Let's first of all talk about condolences to J-Train and LSU. Kim Malarkey, I heard, was eliminated. I don't know.
Malarkey, that's right. Malarkey for sure.
AKA Barbie. I love the way she dresses. She's so snazzy.
It's okay. I mean, got to the Elite Eight. Yeah.
UCLA got some revenge in that game, so
That's crazy. That's crazy. And the Duke has been eliminated by South Carolina by only 4 points. We lost Bo. I guess he got tired of it. Only 4 points. Dawn Staley rolls on now to the Final Four, but Duke ladies really hung in there. I guess I'll let him back in. But yeah, Keith, give us the rundown on college.
well, on the women's side, I like Gina Orium and UConn to kind of. I think they'll win 2 more games and win this tournament. Actually, I don't have a lot to say about the women's side. USC put up a great fight, I thought, against UConn without Juju Watkins the other night, and they made a run. They made a run at them late, but couldn't withstand it. So congratulations to all these teams for getting to the Final Four. But again, really no surprises. I don't think any more than on the men's side. On the men's side, you got 4 number ones for only the second time in history, first time since 2008, I want to say. Also in San Antonio, interestingly enough. And you've got the 4 best teams. I mean, that's the goal, is to get the best teams, right? Whether we're talking football playoffs, baseball playoffs, basketball, and get the best teams. The best 4 teams are here. Houston, if they shoot the ball well enough, may be able to give Duke a run, but I doubt it. I think Duke is just too well-rounded. I think we talked about it the other day. It was either on the Sunday show or the Wednesday show. Duke is the only team that I see in this tournament, and I said it before the Final Four, that can withstand a slump on the offensive end because they can pick it up defensively, or a slump on the defensive end because they can pick it up offensively. And these other teams are flawed.
Yes.
One area or another, they're going to be susceptible to runs by the other team.
Well,
Absolutely.
I think
what's that?
I think Florida matches up really well with Duke, right? Like it
No,
feels
they
like they're on
don't,
a
brother.
condition-
No, they don't. I was waiting for you to say that.
Probably the second best team to what I'm talking about would be Florida.
Yeah.
A well-rounded team. The other, Auburn's really exciting.
What about Auburn? Yeah.
But again, they go on streaks where they don't, they score 4 points in 8 minutes, and
Can't touch us. Tell them, Keith, they can't touch us. It's
Auburn.
not-
I do think Auburn's going to find a way to get by Florida. I love Broom's game. I think he's player of the year. I think he's a player of the year over your boy Cooper Flagg. Sorry. I think Broom is maybe just a step above.
But Keith, does that elbow injury hurt him a little bit? I mean, no pun intended there, but I mean,
I was looking up some information this afternoon. I couldn't find a lot of news on the injury, so I don't know how effective or how ineffective it's going to make him. I suppose if he gets banged around a little bit, it'll hurt him.
You saw him in that game though. Like he comes back, he can only use one arm. He's still getting
one arm, right?
Yeah, and the fact that he shot that 3-pointer and it was just like perfect. Like he didn't even need his right arm. It made me, as someone that has both arms perfectly able, and I can't make a bucket like that in my life, it made me feel bad.
Yeah. The big story I find in this Final Four is the interesting mix of coaches. You get two younger guys, well, one young guy in Shire, John Shire's done a great job building this program back to an elite status with only 3 years out of replacing Coach K. The Florida coach's name is Golden, right? I think his name is escaping me for some reason. Also is kind of on the younger side and building a program. On the other side, you've got two guys in Kelvin Sampson and Bruce Pearl, who have not won a national championship, have been around a long, long time, been very, very successful coaches. They got in trouble in different places for probably things that wouldn't be a problem today. Which is interesting. But it'd be interesting to see both of them win a national championship here. And if Kelvin Sampson win one, he may step away. Some of the rumors are if he were to actually win a national championship. He's been around quite a while. But he did a great job rebuilding his reputation, Kelvin Sampson, after the whole Indiana debacle. He went back to being an assistant coach at the pro level and finally got another chance with Houston, a program that was really down. And he rebuilt it into a powerhouse that it was in the 80s and before that in the 60s. So they've had periods of greatness, but not sustained like Duke has had. And Auburn's never been to a Final Four that I can think of in my memory. So Bruce Pearl's done a great job there. It's a very, a lot of people want to see Cinderella, but when I get to this point, I want to see the best teams. And I think I saw the 8 best teams play in the Elite 8 as well. And some of the games were interesting and some weren't because of bad matchups. Michigan State had a really bad matchup, I thought, against Auburn athletically. And I mean, they couldn't put the ball in the basket either. I mean, they were doing some good jobs on the offensive boards, Michigan State, but they couldn't put the ball in the basket to save their lives. And I think it's going to be a very, very fun Final Four. And you've got, is there three SEC? Yeah, 3 SEC teams are there. No, I'm sorry, 2 SEC.
One ACC left, which is Duke.
Yeah, you got 2 of them matching up against each other. The committee either committee got very lucky or did a great job of putting these teams around the country, because you didn't get a matchup. You got one matchup of SEC teams, I think, until the Sweet 16. I thought they did a great job of placing these teams around the country.
Yeah, when I picked my bracket, I don't remember which one of y'all it was. We talked about it last week. It might have been B. Striller on here. Somebody said that I had picked all number 1 teams, except I had one number 2 team. Maybe it was you, Keith. I don't know, but
John's, didn't you? I think you had St. John's.
Oh, did I have St. John? No, Tennessee. Tennessee
was Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah, but one thing about it, I already have been looking for new championship shirts, and I've got a couple already ready to hit in my basket. Because like when the Panthers won the NFC championship, I had already pulled a website up and had 2 in the basket, one for me and one for my dunkel. So yes, Hunty, it is time for Duke, and I cannot wait, because I think, Tip, didn't you pick Florida to win it all?
No, I picked Duke to win it. My championship matchup was Duke versus Texas Tech. You can see the Texas Tech flag over here. That game Texas Tech had against Florida. Make your free. There's one thing that bothers me about college basketball. Make your GD free throws. Like that's all I got to say. Free throws. It always comes down to that. But I had Duke winning the national championship. It pains me to say that because I cannot stand Duke or their fans or that part of Durham, North Carolina. But
I'm not from Durham. Okay, but thanks for pronouncing it instead of saying Durham. Thanks for saying Durham.
Sometimes you got to get that Earl.
Durham.
You know what, Tip? Take care of your coaches. That guy can coach. I'll tell you right now. So,
and that's been the thing with like Texas Tech is, they had Chris Jans a couple of years. They let him go. He takes another team to the tournament. They seem to just have a good culture, like a good basketball culture, which is weird for the state of Texas because we normally focus in on football, right? But we have 2 teams representing here in the Final Four in Houston and or I guess not in the Final Four, in the Elite 8 in Houston and in Texas Tech. And it's kind of showing you that Texas Tech, they don't have the resources that a lot of the other teams do, but they're constantly there. Sweet 16, Elite 8, they made it to a Final Four run a couple of years back. they're on the come up, and I like seeing what I got out of Texas Tech. Just make your effing free throws.
Yeah, it's interesting what a game can be. They came back against Arkansas from being down 16, but then they blow a big lead with 3 minutes left against Florida. You're right. Make free throws. That's what every game comes down to, a free throw shooting contest if we get that situation.
I'm a very level-headed person whenever I watch sports, but there's something about seeing missed free throws that just takes me over the edge. I was about to be like those videos of Dallas Cowboys fans hitting the TV with a baseball bat. That was about to be me.
Yeah, and speaking of making big points, Nikola Jokic proved once again why he's a leading candidate for this season's Kia MVP award. Tuesday night, pouring in a career-high 61 points. It's the most points scored by a player this season. He played for 53 minutes on the court, and they lost by 1 point in double overtime against the Timberwolves. As we switch gears to the NBA, career best 61 points. Congratulations to him. But that tough loss to the Timberwolves, guys.
That's right. Shout out to Westbrook to find a way to ruin a really good night.
That's who did it. Shout out to you, Russell.
I love Jokic. You know, he's got the ultimate dad bod in sports, I think, today. If I was 7 foot tall, that's what I'd look like, just like, you know, he does.
Well, I say it all the time. How is it that this basketball playing loaf of bread can be the best player in the NBA right now?
Ain't he right?
Yeah, because he just does a pirouette and raises his arms in the air and does a fadeaway without jumping.
Yeah, because he ain't doing no cardio.
Incredible.
No cardio. He's eating pizza right now while we're on here.
He looks tired at tip off. Like it's the craziest thing in the world, this loaf of bread. But we got to give this guy his flowers.
And wheat at that.
And like there's a chance here that he's going to end the season, you know, top 3 in scoring, top 3 in rebounding, top 3 in assists, top 1 in steals, top 1 in field goal percentage. He'll be the only player in NBA history to do that. Yes. And we look at Nikola Jokic, and it's crazy to say this. There's a real possibility he's the greatest basketball player we've ever seen, and he looks like a jar of mayonnaise.
Hey, he does. Maybe every time I see him.
I don't know about the greatest player you've ever seen, but I will give him credit and put him in that top 5. I would say, I mean, and Sonia, you mentioned that he scored 61 points, but he also had 10 boards and 10 assists to go along with it. He had triple-double.
Triple-double. I forgot about the other
crazy.
He had a triple 20 of each, I think, just like a month ago, didn't he, as well? He set another record. So
unreal.
He's a phenomenal player. And Denver's starting to
are getting it done. What can I say?
You know, the most surprising stat out of all of those is the fact that he has so many steals. Because, again, he's not a super athletic dude. How are you letting him pick your pocket? That's like somebody on the subway reaching in your pocket, and you feel their hand the whole time, and you're like, yeah, it's cool. Like
it's just a couple of bucks.
Absolutely.
But that's also the thing. Like, it seems like every month we get or every couple of weeks we get this like crazy Nikola Jokic stat, or we see the video where he gets the ball at the opposite 3-point line and just heaves it up there and it goes in. Like the man is an incredible basketball player. He's just imagine what he'd be if he was actually in shape.
Maybe he would be good. We don't know.
Shaq a lot. I feel like we said that about Shaq for like most of his career.
Yeah,
imagine he was really studious about.
No. I disagree with that. Shaq came in as they call him Diesel for a reason. Yeah. He became like that. He became like that. Kobe even said it. He said, "Man, if Shaq would have stayed in shape or actually put effort towards it, we would have won more championships."
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, his time with Orlando, totally different. And his first few years,
no magic.
Lakers, but really from like that second championship on, he was not the pinnacle of physical fitness.
Yeah,
right.
went from magic to tragic.
It's because they kept feeding the big fella. They kept feeding him.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
The only thing, Tip, is you can't move your lips a lot because he's like a Muppet or something.
Yeah, so the one time he talks.
I didn't know John.
Got that barbecue chicken.
I never know anything. He's the only person that needs a ventriloquist to interpret what he's saying when he's doing sports stuff. I never know what he's saying. All you hear is, "Hey, Kenny," and you don't hear nothing else.
Hey, Kenny.
I love that one of his main lines to people is like, "Yeah, well, I'm big. You're not big. I'm big. I'm bigger than you."
That's it. You're big and you're
Yep.
Barfo. So
Now it was funny watching him not be able to dunk, considering he'd almost touched the rim anyway.
yeah, the only thing he was dunking was Little Debbie snack cakes down his throat. So
I mean, I can't blame him. They are delicious. I can't blame him.
Little Debbie.
Well, he does own Krispy Kremes now, so
What?
oh
yeah,
yeah.
he does. Yeah, he does. What's up, Kenny? How are you?
The big fella stays dunking.
Hello, Kitty. What's going on? Let me tell you guys. Speaking of people not being in shape, once again, Zion Williams, y'all. Zion Williams, another season-ending injury again. J Train, that's the Pelicans. I don't know if you followed him. That's your home team. They need to just get rid of him at this point. Every season he's been with them, and I don't know if it's an endurance thing or I don't know. Has he lost any weight?
Yeah, he has, but I mean, it's just unfortunately ever since he bust out of his shoe at Duke, there's always been that question mark about whether or not he can stay healthy. And because, first of all, for me, in my honest opinion, no one that big and that strong should move the way he moves. The body's not meant to do those things that he's able to do. He's like upwards of 250, 260, 6'4", and he's like this big solid mound of muscle that gets up in the air and does things that you never could see. But that's stress on the body. Mm-hmm. That's constantly putting stress on that body, and he can't stay healthy. And right now he will be categorized as an unhealthy bust, someone who can't stay healthy. He's the number 1 overall pick, and he should be categorized as a bust because of injury, due to injury, not because of play. He can play when he's on.
Yeah. When they try to dump him, they're not going to get value for him. I mean, for 4 years, I've listened to Knick fans talk about, well, we should go out and get Zion. I don't want him on my ticket.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be you can have all the ability in the world, but if you don't have availability, it doesn't matter. So,
but it's the Knicks, so that would actually make a ton of sense.
Well, that's what I was worried about. Well,
I think what it does as well is it kind of makes you appreciate Charles Barkley, right? Like that archetype, the fact that he was able to be, for a big chunky dude and do the things that he was able to do in a time frame where they didn't care about health the way that they do now. It kind of makes you appreciate what he was able to do because Zion came in here with so much hype, right? Like we thought this is going to be the next coming of LeBron James, and he winds up just being the next Greg Oden, right? Like he's just hurt every single year. He's a big dude. He's all that. And it just really makes you appreciate what Charles Barkley was able to do.
But Tip, I got to push back on that. Charles, he said it. I've heard him say it twice. He said he came into the league. He was a round mound of rebound, and he was 300 pounds. Mm-hmm. And he said he wasn't getting playing time early in his days at Philadelphia, and he wondered why. So he said he wanted the big man, Moses Malone. He said he came up to his apartment and said, "Moses, I'm not playing, man." He said, "I'm gonna be truthful with you." He said, "You're fat." He said, "But we can work on that." He said, "Let's do a step. Let's just work on 10 pounds. Let's do 10 pounds here, and then once we get to 10 pounds, we'll do another 10 pounds." And he said he kept doing that snowball theory, and it got to 50 pounds. And he said he kept that 50 off. He had to work for it though. In order to get that playing time. If you look at Chuck. Obviously, Chuck looks far different now than he did when he was young. But if you see when from Auburn to his first couple of years in the league, when he lost all that weight, Charles was in shape. He was in shape. He was a big dude. He was a truck.
In Phoenix, he was chiseled. Actually,
he was chiseled in Phoenix. Yes, absolutely.
Also, I wanted to say this. You said Zion was like 6'4", 250. If Zion's 250, I'm like $110. Like
when he's in shape. When he's out of shape, he's like 280, 300 pounds.
He's the same size as Cam Newton because Cam Newton was 6'5", 245, somewhere around there. And he was doing all those astronomical jumps and stuff too. So maybe Zion should have played football. Who knows?
But I think that's the thing with Zion, right? It's like basketball, it takes a lot out of you. Being able to do it for 35 games in college, that's cool. Try doing it for 82 games in the NBA, it's going to take its toll on you. And I just think, again, He's one of these dudes. His body's going to age like a banana, just given the sheer
Dang.
size of him.
What are you talking about? You're hoping he can do the 32 games in the NBA.
Yeah.
If he was a hockey, he should be a hockey player. He's only
And,
got
yeah, good evening to Scott. Scott said Embiid needs to retire. We'll talk about him in a second.
Yeah.
Also, good evening. Robert said it's all about the LD oatmeal. Yeah, those were my after school snacks.
The oatmeal
Robert.
cream pies, yeah.
Yes, I had one and a cup of milk after school, and I knew I was set for the afternoon.
moon pies.
Yes,
I think that's
Those
the
are
last
great.
time I had one of those
To me,
oatmeal.
Those are great, but to me, underrated was the Star Crunch. I love the Star
I
Crunch.
love Star Crunch.
come
Nobody
on.
likes those. Those are my favorite to this day.
I've never even heard of that.
And the Nutty Bars.
It's chocolate and Rice Krispie.
Yeah. Oh, that's what the crispy is. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I never knew. I just tore them
I
up.
need some now. I'll be back. I got to get some chocolate. now.
I know,
You-
right? I
you
was
guys- you guys-
and I should have bought those oatmeal cream pies. He said, "How many pounds?" Scott says, "How many pounds do you guys think Zion needs to lose?" Listen, I think those
100.
have already added up at this point.
I
I
don't
don't think
think.
there's any coming back.
But
I don't think there's an amount of weight he could lose that'll
Yep.
get him mentally, physically where he needs to be. I think all this now is mental with him.
Yeah.
Because
But I
once
think part of it also is that he has a lot of muscle weight. That guy is stocked. He's a big dude. I mean, don't get me. Even if he loses weight, he's not. You still see him as he's chiseled. He's got big chest, big shoulders, big butt, big quads.
Mm.
He's and he does the things again. Like I said, when you see him move, it's hard on the joints, man. It's just too much.
Yes. Let's get them, Scott.
I'm about to say, y'all got me over here thinking like I'm Sherman Klump right now. I'm like, cakes and pies.
As soon I'm telling you, as soon as this live ends, I'm gonna order some Instacart. I was in Walmart and did not get those cookies and Little Debbie's, but now because I'm supposed to be eating right, it's a new month. Now,
Oh, Little Debbie's, the peanut butter bars, the chocolate.
look
That's
at
the
you.
Nutty
What are those
Bars,
things?
yeah.
I forget. The wafers.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Those are
those
the Nutty
things are-
Bars.
Yeah, that's the
Nutty bars. Oh,
Those
Oh
are
my
favorite
goodness.
also.
Yeah.
Whenever I was in high school, it was 25 cents for a pack of Nutty Bars. I was
Yes,
getting
they
those Nutty Bars.
were.
Man,
oh
yeah.
my god.
They were
It's why I don't
$1.
buy those things. Because I will
Now they're
absolutely
$1.
smash that.
Now they're $1.75 for one pack.
damn. Now I feel old. Like gas was 98 cents whenever I was a kid.
I know, right?
It was cheaper than that when I was a kid.
Yes.
I bought bread for 5 cents.
No, I'm not that old. but-
Oh man, that sounds like the Depression era.
Gas
We
was
didn't-
like, gas in my hometown was like
No, but that's where
80
we're at now. When you think back to, you bought gas for 98 cents and now it's $5.
Listen,
Wow.
when I moved to Atlanta, the first thing I did was call my dad because the gas in Georgia was cheaper than North Carolina. I moved here in 2001, and I remember going to the Quick Trip and going inside like, is your price correct outside? It was 88 cents in 2001. So
Wow.
I don't know how it was that cheap then, because when I was growing up, it was like 70-some cents. But now it's like $3.90 per gallon if you're putting number 93 in your car
Right.
in Georgia. So,
Fred Flintstone's car was my first car. We didn't even have gasoline.
oh, your poor feet.
Just pedal to me, go.
He's got his feet propped up right now.
I was about to ask Keith what was the price of petrol back in the day.
That's the problem with the
How
West
much was
Coast.
a
We're
bale of
always
hay?
expensive.
Yeah, that's right.
How much was a bale of hay, Keith, for your horse?
Oh my goodness.
That farmer would give it away. We'd be good.
Okay, guys, we always have fun on this show. Y'all know how we do. So, let me just go ahead and pull this in here because I want y'all's true opinion.
Oh
I
no.
hope Mac and Linda don't think I'm being messy, but this is really NBA related, and I really want to know. So I talked to Jack about this. If you guys saw him this morning, you know Jack is going to give you like almost a biblical response. So you're not going to get the real tea from Jack. So Anthony Edwards allegedly, well, it's been proven now, has fathered another child. He's only in his 20s. He's got like 3 baby mamas now. This last baby mama is almost 40. She's turning 40 this year. She has a baby by Lil Baby, who's the other rapper. So she's clearly chasing checks at this point. So she texts Anthony and is like, hey, I'm pregnant. He's like, okay, basically, I don't want it, ABORT, in case, the network tries to freeze us up for saying that. I don't want this child, basically. So she says, nope, I'm keeping it, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, okay, well, if you do, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Like, you're basically unalive to me, you and your kid. So basically, she lives here in Georgia. for people that don't know, California has one of the higher child support rates in the United States. They take about a third of a person's paycheck. I know this because I used to work in child support, and it was interstate, so trust me, I know. Anyway, they do a DNA. Of course, he comes back as the dad, but he also tells the judge, like, hey, she don't even live in California. She moved here just to get this support order established, and I think that we should redirect this to Georgia. So, because that's where I live, that's where, custody has been established, jurisdiction has been established, what have you. So the judge agrees, but in the process of them moving it back to Georgia, he's now gone forward, like, can I just pay my child support in one lump payment so I don't have to ever talk to her or this kid ever in my whole life?
Hey, I'm not mad at that.
That was my thought, because he's going to get more extensions and more contracts, and you can come up for a review every 3 years with income changes.
So I hadn't heard that, but I actually like it. If you have the ability to do it, do it.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Now it's unfortunate that there's still some level of irresponsibility here.
Definitely.
Because I mean, you're still. I hate to even say this on air. You're spreading your seed, and I mean.
No, but he's coming out and just owning the fact that, hey, I'm going to be a deadbeat dad.
Yeah,
I want
he's
nothing to
coming
do
out,
with this kid. I want to throw money at the problem. I mean, like,
But you're bringing another person into the world that needs parenting, that needs a father.
It's not just about
that's. I mean, it's not just about the money. I mean, you made the decision to open up and say, hey, I want to get in there.
Well, no, but what it means is he is not the dad that kid needs.
Of course, I agree with you there. But that's so irresponsible. It's just like, man, from all levels. This lady's in her 40s, like she said. That's on her part, and then on his part, it's like, come on, man, what are you thinking?
He's a stereotypical NBA player, for crying out loud. Everybody, I mean, what Sean Kemp's got like 8 kids with 9 baby mamas or something.
And that's what I was about to say too, right? Like we're going to see this in about 10 years from now, where Anthony Edwards is like filing for bankruptcy or something because he's got 47 kids because he just wants to pay everybody off. And like, if anything, I hope it teaches him a lesson, right? Like maybe we go get a snip or something. Maybe we start using some prophylactic. Like we just start something out there. Change who you are, Anthony Edwards. It's easy.
I mean, it's not.
I mean, I'm not judging him, but it's scary because that means you're sleeping unprotected. You don't know what these people have. I mean, I'm sorry, we're on air. Let me be quiet.
That's right.
Me and Jay Train are thinking just alike. Like, okay, let's not even worry about the kid part. Let's worry about your health, sir. Like, this is Disgusto Barfo. Scott said Zach Wilson is jealous of him. Wait a minute. Scott said he tuned into a sports show and Little Debbie Talk broke out, and they're the official sports sponsor of National Streaming Sports. And he also says, did he appear on Maury Povich? Tyreek Hill is almost in the same boat. Yeah.
So that's what I was going to say is Tyreek is putting out a kid every 800 yards.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, I mean, Tyreek Hill, he's still with the same lady though, right?
No. Tyreek Hill had 5 kids in the last 2 years by 3 different women.
He had 1 year that when he got stopped going to the game, I think, too.
The girl he was with, that's who he got into a domestic with because he had cheated on her and got somebody else with another baby.
Oh, my goodness.
My confession.
You know that she didn't burn down his house like
I heard that, Tip.
Like Left Eye.
Exactly.
Like Left Eye did Andre Rison.
Right.
Oh, my God. I had to get y'all's take on that because I knew if I presented that to a nice balanced audience panel like yourselves, mixed ages, that I would get some real real answers instead of, you guys got to go back and watch what Jack said this morning. I'm not going to get into that, Sonya, one way or another, Unfortunately, that's what the guy did. I don't want to judge.
I was riding with you until you said this panel was balanced.
It is.
Any of these characters?
I mean, yes.
If I knew you could get your kids to stay away by throwing money at them, I'd have thrown a lot more money at kids. For
I'm gonna start playing the Powerball now.
Got some professional here for real.
I just use a cell phone. I just do that. Go be somebody.
Yeah,
my
cell
goodness.
phone is the new entertainment today. Look at J Train and I are just baffled. We are flabbergasted.
Uh,
I mean, I still can't. Wow. Yeah, I heard the story. I was just like, oh, come on.
I mean, if
What-
you're not going to be involved anyway, at least you know she's not going to be tied up in a court battle after that, right? Like, get your money.
I mean, yeah.
I guess
I see
cool,
that.
right? And
I
then
guess he thinks he's
if you have
responsible
it in a
for
lump
that.
sum, in fact, if you have it in a lump sum and she's smart with it, she can have that money making money.
Well, that's what they say. They know she's gonna run through it because apparently she's already run through little baby's money, so that's why she's already.
Oh my god.
Well,
She should call JG Wentworth.
Yes. Call JG Wentworth.
uh,
1-800 cash now.
hey, at least you know their ad campaign works, right? Because everybody knows that song.
Oh yeah,
Right.
No, 100%.
We need. A
You have no
sponsorship.
idea the amount of
We need a
people that ask me.
sponsorship. We need a sponsorship, JG Wentworth. We just gave you a shout out.
And Little Debbie's. And Little Debbie's.
Hey, little Dave.
Yeah.
You guys
And
have
you
no
can
idea.
You can
Well,
sponsor us with product. You don't even have to send us money. Just-
Exactly. I'm happy to do product placement. Man. All my shots.
I will too, and tell everybody how delicious it is.
I will do a
Mom.
full-on ASMR segment of just chewing into those nutty buddies, baby. I got you.
So
Nutty
we gotta-
Buddies, honey buns,
The
everything.
honey buns
Yeah.
are nasty by Little Debbie. I don't like them. I only
Cakes
like
and pies.
I only
cakes
like
and
the
pies.
individual hostess.
Uh,
Mac is gonna be like, get off my show. I don't like.
I mean, he hasn't kicked me off yet. I do this at 10
He's gonna
o'clock in
talk
the
about
morning.
me. He's gonna be like, I tuned in. Oh,
I don't-
Little Debbie's, and I'm like, where the hell is the sports show at?
I mean, you know, he didn't stay tuned in. He's watching this show and like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Robert is like, damn poor kid, and then he
Yep.
said, good thing he boycotts the NBA. It's a bad image for sport. I mean, they're all really like that, Robert.
So
Cam.
there's some history there. So he boycotts the NBA,
for the Seahawks,
because of the Sonics.
Supersonics, yeah.
And so it's the same reason I don't watch it the way I used to either, right?
Yeah.
Can't even listen to Supersonic quite the same now.
Supersonic.
He got me. He got me. Thank you.
Supersonic. All right, so Bo, your mom has a comment. She says perhaps it should be mandatory to be fixed after helping to make a number of kids you want and or don't want to be involved with. I love that, Feather Free Bird. Shout out to Bo's mom. That's the most greatest comment we've seen tonight.
I mean, if you
Notice
don't want them,
later.
don't have them.
Scott said, does the woman get a choice like a lottery winner, lump sum, or 20 years? So, no, so he wants to pay it in one lump sum, like, here's your $1 million for the rest of your life.
God. That's funny.
That's crazy.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'd be taking the lump sum and
Invest in it.
invest in that thing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like, her, I mean,
Just like the statistics show that most lottery winners are broke after like 5 or 6 years.
oh my gosh, you guys. So, just as a
I'll
small
take my
side
chances.
note, I worked
agree with you.
I worked for a firm years ago, not in Georgia, but years ago, like when I first got out of college. And this guy got like $1 million settlement, and because he had fallen off of a scaffold. You remember we were talking about that? But that's like, but he lived, but he was like in a body cast for like 6 months. I don't remember how high he was, but he survived. Anyway, every couple of weeks we were getting like an email because this was inviting us to his house for a big some type of party every couple of weeks. And so my managing partner was like, please give him a call and have him call me and tell him we need to start talking to a financial advisor about some of his money, because I'm a little concerned. Like by the third month, she was like, okay, every couple of weeks we're getting invited. This dude is just blowing through his money. And so he didn't answer. He didn't call her back. 6 months, y'all. 6 months. Had not paid off a house, had not bought a car. We don't know what he did. He was up there asking if we did bankruptcy.
Cocaine and hookers is usually the right answer.
He rolled out his jump to conclusions, Matt. Like,
And
I agree with Keith.
Right. It's
Oh,
pretty.
yeah.
that's
It's
what
pretty
she-
obvious.
And that's what she said. And back then I was fresh out of college, North Carolina, hadn't really experienced a lot of real life because I'm from a rural area. So when she said cocaine, I was like, what, do you think so? She was like, absolutely. I was like, oh, people do. She was like, girl, you are so like, because this was in Virginia. This dude had just blown through his money. And I mean, I'm telling you, didn't have nothing to show for it. Not a house, not a car. And he was asking, did we practice bankruptcy because he needed to file bankruptcy.
That's right.
He had all the pain and agony from falling.
You tune into National Streaming Sports to figure out how you can have hookers and blow. And that's scaffolding.
That's actually the name of my sports show. I don't know how you guys figured that one out.
Oh my God,
man!
I had to just remove myself from it.
It always makes me wonder though, like, what would you do if you won that amount of money? Like, what would you buy, right? And I'm one of these people like I would buy like a Mustang, like just an obnoxious Mustang because I love me some Mustangs. But other than that, like I don't know what I'd spend money on because hookers and blow, that's not my thing. Maybe a lot of Jim. I would buy stock in Jim Beam.
And hookers and blow is not my thing either. I don't.
There's a line from my favorite shows of all time, Mike Baxter in Last Man Standing, where he said, "The more money you make, the better looking family you can buy." So,
yeah, I would just.
I really can't wait to see the face of Mac when he returns. These shows.
I figure I'm going to get a text message like, "Hey, you don't have to worry about being on shows anymore." Like,
yeah. Hey, so we're going to go into syndication for a little while. I'm like, is it something I said?
I also
I promise you, it's something I said.
No, look, we're getting the views. You guys see, we've been having upwards of 25 and 30 people the whole time. This is
talk about cocaine and hookers. You're going to get more viewers.
I need to do a segment then.
You know what?
Maybe that's where I'll invite all of you guys to join me at 9:00 if you're not busy.
Cocaine and hooker show.
We'll continue to talk about the
cocaine, hookers, and pimps. Keith, you got to add the pimps to the mix.
Attempt to get a hooker.
Okay, so that gives me a couple of hours to get ready. Okay.
Yeah, so now like Snoop and Dre say, so now you hookers and hoes know how I feel.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, listen, before we go, I owe Sean Kemp an apology, by the way. He has 11 babies by 9 different women. So he did double up once. So that's a good thing, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Congrats.
Wow.
And Antonio Cromartie as well.
Another one?
So Scott, this will be rebroadcasted tonight. I can't remember exactly what time. I think
we should burn this tape.
I mean, to be fair, it does make sense that this is the late night show.
Oh my God, this is what happens when you wake up at 4 a.m. and you've been up all day. You're just super excited about getting a good night's rest. Yeah, guys, I mean, we got a couple of minutes left. I almost don't even want to touch the next conversation, but really just about Shaq. I mean, excuse me, not Shaq. Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. Shannon telling him to back it down. Him and LeBron beef continuing on now for the third week. What are you guys? Has that been resolved today, or they're still ongoing?
They need to just shut up, the two of them.
Let me say this: whether you have good publicity or bad publicity, it's good. And I think that, to me, I think this is what they're doing because basketball ratings has been in the toilet. Yes. So they're trying to bring this up. They're doing anything and everything in their power to have something, and they're going to continue to egg. I mean, Stephen A. Smith knows what he's doing. He's not stupid, and I think LeBron knows what he's doing as well by going on Pat McAfee. LeBron never takes anybody's interview. They know what they're doing. This is all a sham. Everybody, and we're all pawns in the big game.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a beef that I couldn't care less about, it's this one right here.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like whenever you have that family member and you're at a wedding and that one family member's over in the corner, they're talking crap about the other family member, and you're like, my drink is empty, so I'm just going to go over here and stand in a corner by myself. That's what I'm doing with this entire conversation.
It's almost like they're arguing over Spider-Man underoos. Okay, who cares? Like, you both are kids. You're little boys at this point in my mind. Go get your tidy whities and your Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk and go home and go to the sandbox. That's my theory of it. And
the only part of it that really made me laugh was when Stephen A. was like, if he'd have put his hands on me, I'd have swung. I'd been like, dude, you'd have got rolled.
And then what, Stephen?
Like a freaking duck. He looks like a duck. So if he looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, he must be a duck. This will be replayed, you guys, especially because we got on the network a little late because of technical difficulties.
Don't threaten me. She threatening us?
So I want to make sure everybody knows that missed the first few minutes. It was just mad. The last half was the best half. Stay tuned on the Roku Network. Got Keith Engel with a show coming up here. TJ Sports. Bo is throughout the day. Tip as well, and myself tonight. Prim and Proper Sports, and we bid you all a good night. See you soon.
And we should call it National Sports Show, not professional, because the professional left the building a long time ago.
Oh, God, yeah.
You're watching National Streaming Sports. Over 20 podcasts, 70 shows, and a 3.5-star rating on Roku TV.